This demonstration covers the process of performing a new Networker 9 installation. This demonstration we're going to be installing Networker 9 on a new server, so a new installation. So the first thing we need to do is navigate to the location where we've downloaded the install packages. So in our case it's software. We're going to go into the Networker 9 directory, and if we navigate into the Networker directory, you'll see we have 3 packages. So there's the Networker package down here, which is an all-inclusive client, server, storage, node, everything. And then we've got the extended client package and then the client package. So because we're installing the server, we're going to install the all-inclusive package. We will agree to the license agreement and click Next. In our lab environment, we're not going to configure the firewall. In a production environment, you probably would. You'll click Next. Then you'll choose what you want to install. So we're going to install the server and client and the Networker management console. So very similar to the previous versions of Networker. The only difference here is now we have an Avamar client option down here as well. We are not going to install that here. Now you're going to get a pop-up about licensing differences. There's a big difference with licensing in Networker 9. We now use the Elm server and a different method. So you get some information here about what you need to do and how to acquire a license file and that kind of stuff. We'll hit OK to acknowledge it. And you're going to see here that the JRE version is listed. One thing that's different, if you do not have the JRE installed or a supported JRE installed, you're going to get a fail message here, and it's not going to let you move any further than this screen until you install that. So unlike previous versions where you can install without it, you have to have it installed prior to installation. So we can see our host name, the Tomcat port. We're going to hit Next. Here we're going to enter our key store password. So this is for auth-c. So we'll enter that key store password and we'll hit Next. Now we're entering our authentication, our administrator password. So this is the password we're going to log in with. We'll enter that and hit Next. Now we've got the installation path, our authentication hosts. We're using the defaults here. If you were using a different authentication server, you could enter that there. This is for the NMC database. We'll click Next. And then if we were doing an upgrade from a previous version of Networker, we would want to migrate the NMC database. In this case, we're not. It's a brand new installation, so there's nothing to migrate. So we'll just leave skip installation or skip the migration selected and choose install. And then the installation will run. So we'll let this run until it completes, and we'll pause the video and come back when that's done. Okay, we can see now that our Networker server has installed successfully. So we're going to click Finish. Now that we've got that installed, we need to log in and configure the NMC. So we're going to go to Start, All Programs, EMC Networker, and we're going to launch the Networker Management Console. Okay, so it comes up with the EMC Networker 9 start screen. We're going to click Start. That's going to download our Java file. I'm going to tell it to open. Okay, we can see a couple of things now. One, we've got the NMC console login screen, which is different than previous versions. We can see it's rebranded with Networker 9. We can also see the icon has changed. So we've got an icon here on our desktop. So if you actually look down here, you could see the new NMC console for NW Windows has been added as well. And this one can be deleted. That's just the link to the website. So we will log in with our administrator account and then the password that we set during installation. And this brings up the license agreement. We'll click Accept. Now we need to configure the NMC. Just like Networker 8 or previous versions, we have to go through the configuration wizard here to set certain configuration variables. So our Networker server name, we're going to tell it is, in our case, it's nwwindows@emc.edu. We're going to tell it to collect for this server. We're going to hit Finish. And that's it. The server is installed now. Now if we go to our Networker server here, we could see Networker 9. We can see the build version. We can launch it. And that will bring up the network administration window. And from within here, we can see that we have our default policies created. We've got our log running down here. If we look, we've got a couple of warnings. We've got one alert down here basically telling us that there was no license file found, so we need to license the Networker server. And we could scroll through and see the different tabs and everything. So now our server is installed and ready to be configured. We would want to license it at this point and then start configuring it in the environment. This demonstration covered the process of performing a new Networker 9 installation. Thank you.